Alright guys, welcome to another class and a review of this design I made for a conference. I made design for a conference sometime I think last month. Yeah, so I basically love this project because it was a passion project. It was not a paid project. So I really enjoyed working on this because it was for youths and all of that you get, and most of the time it actually helps me think better because there's really no pressure, working on stuffs you volunteer for. Do you understand? Because it's volunteer, so it has to be on your own terms. So it was amazing, and I enjoyed working on this. All right, so I'll be breaking down this design with the artboards. So I'll kind of clear off the layers I don't need, and so permit me and forgive me because my layers are not labeled, so you just have to roll with me on that, so forgive me. And another disclaimer is that the way my layers are arranged is actually not the way I started the design or ended the design. All right, it's just placement. The layers are just there according to placement, all right, of what's needed to be on top of the other. All right, and it has nothing to do with how I start my designs or my design process. All right, if you need to know more about my design process, you get it in my course. All right, so it would clearly explain how I approach my designs from both research to the iteration stage, which is the final stage. So when you get my course, you actually see all of that. All right, so I'd actually be explaining all these layers individually and how I achieved all of them, and where I actually got them from. So this is my empty canvas, and if you need to know how I come up about my artboard, you just need to go onto my YouTube page and you find that video there explaining how I um calibrate my artboards and the metrics I use for it. All right, so this is my artboard. My artboard is basically a workspace. It's just like a canvas. All right, when you say artist paint, it's like a canvas, an empty canvas. All right, so you just start doing your thing on the empty canvas. So majorly your empty canvas will come in as white. All right, so I basically have this as my first layer, but the fun thing about it is that this is not actually where I started. I think I started with the pictures. I'm not really sure of how I started this design. Yeah, so but this is just basically a review, not a do-over. Right, so then I have I added a couple of things. All right, so I basically downloaded this megaphone off freepik. All right, so if you go to freepik.com, you can type in announcements. All right, you can type in announcements or you type in megaphone and all of that. It will bring up pictures that look like this. So I got this picture of freepik. So most of the time what I do is when I get pictures like this, yeah, I open them up with Illustrator because they come in EPS format. Right, I open them with Illustrator, then take out the unnecessary parts of the vector that I don't need. So I needed this megaphone and this whole white stuff because I needed to write something here, and all of this thunderbolt looking elements here. So I just left all these ones, but the remaining stuffs I just deleted them, saved it as PDF on Illustrator, then bounced it and brought it to Photoshop. All right, so it's a very hassle-free process. All right, probably in a subsequent class I'll get to show you what it looks like. All right, so the next thing I did was to blend this whole thing together with hue and saturation. All right, so I added the hue and saturation, so it gave me this whole stuff. So I was trying to achieve this particular hue of brown. All right, so this is my hue and saturation and what it looks like. All right, so I was working, if I turn it off, all right, if I turn the hue and saturation off, all right, so we can actually now look at the colors individually and see what I tweaked. So on the reds, I took my reds up to the top, I increased the hue to +8. All right, and I took the lightness down to minus 100. I think I did for a couple of other things. Okay, I left the yellows, I left the greens, I left the cyans, I left the blues, I think, right, and the magentas, I left them. So basically what I just tampered with was just the reds, right? So just the reds, and this is what I have. So I was able to get this, all right, there to make it work. All right, so the next thing I did was, or I think in process, I added this layer. All right, this is more like an abstract layer you always see me add as an overlay. Right, so it's like a pattern. If you look at it well, it's a pattern actually. Right, so basically what is going on is that I added a layer mask, right, over um, um, this particular layer. All right, so when you add a layer mask, it brings up this other box beside it. And so I took my brush tool, all right, and I painted over this thing, over this mask, all right, to clean it up. So your layer marks will come in as white automatically. So you make sure when you're choosing your brush is black, because black would work on white and white would work on black. So black is to conceal, white is to reveal. All right, when you get my course, you actually understand this concept of masking better. All right, so that's that about this layer. And I played so much with the blend mode. If you look at the blend mode up here, you see it's on hard light. All right, hard light, and the opacity is at 20%, the fill is at 100%. So basically what really makes your layers and all your stuff come to life is how you can manipulate this blend mode. All right, this is the blend mode. This is normal way it should look like in 100%. All right, and normal and in 100% opacity it should look like this. Right, but I didn't really want it strong like this, so I needed to find something and find a common ground. So hard lights give me what I needed, and the opacity at 20% was just perfect for me. All right, so the next thing I think I did was I basically needed this white part to be expanded to other parts of the canvas. All right, because this is what it's exported as on Illustrator, right? And I knew that was not going to be a problem, so I used my pencil to mark out a new shape, which is this. All right, so I marked out this shape with my pencil from this particular existing white. I just took my pencil from here to this point, out here, here, came back inside again, went inside, all right, till I completed it and came to this point. All right, so that's how I now have this here. All right, for me to put my write-up or something, whatever it is I need to do. So I now have this picture of the girls. All right, so this is a picture of the girls I got from the convener of the event. All right, and if you look at the picture, I'm also playing with the blend mode. It's already in black and white. I'm playing with the blend mode. The blend mode is in multiply, and the opacity is in 61%. All right, so very important. Basically what makes your design stand out, or what gives your design a form of balance, is the fact that you're able to play with these blend modes in such a way that these different elements of the design don't overshadow the other, and are just a perfect mix. It's just like when you're cooking. All right, your ability to know the quantity of salt, the quantity of pepper, for your food to actually have a very balanced taste, is what this blend mode and opacity does for you. Very important. Two very important things in design you need to take very good notice of. All right, very important. So the next thing was this art. I designed this what do you call it, I designed this young and mighty with Illustrator. Yeah, so I designed it with Illustrator. All right, I did all of that with Illustrator, and I think that's another talk for another day. All right, on event branding. All right, then the next thing I did was start my text, this international teens and youth conference. And what's the name of this text? The name of the text is intro. It's a free font. Right, you can get it online. It's intro. Then the logo started falling in and all of that. I had to recreate these logos on on Adobe Illustrator too, because the ones they give me, they didn't just give me in the format I wanted. Alright, so I had to put a separator between these two logos so that it's two different entities. Very, very important, this line here. Okay, so start adding the remaining part of the design. That's the date, the time, what else again, and this circle stuff, I downloaded it off PNG Wings. So once you go to PNG Wings, just type in circle, hand-drawn circle. All right, go to PNG Wings, type in hand-drawn circle to bring a couple of them for you, so you can now cut out the ones you need for your project. All right, then other couple of things started coming out. This is actually a shape I drew from, I think I didn't use this again. Yeah, I didn't use this again, so let's just leave that out. Then I started adding other things, live stream on Facebook if you would, then access is free and all of that. All these are texts, and at the end of this thing I'll actually explain and show you guys like the importance of this arrangement and the way they are. So this venue, I downloaded it off PNG Wings, I think, or icons8.com. all right, so that's where I downloaded it from, and I was able to use it to divide it into two, all right, with a mask. All right, I just took this my tool here, so let me delete the layer mask here, delete layer mask. So this is what it is here. So how do I divide this stuff now? I just come here, pick up my rectangular marquee tool. All right, come here, drag, and make sure it's at the center. All right, then make sure that what dividing tree is selected. All right, this is the selected layer. Then I'll just come here to mask. All right, so once I click on this layer masks, all right, it's automatically deletes, takes off the half I didn't select. So I would need to invert this because it's the other part I need. So I just press Ctrl I or Command I, so it does that. All right, so this is the first way. The second way to do it, which should be faster, is to just come from the other side. Since we know it's just this side we need, we come here, do this down here, then come to mask. All right, then automatically does this for us. All right, so it's actually not as precise as you should be because it's not at the center. So when you're doing yours, you actually take your time to actually do it. So that's that about that side. So I started adding some other information, like this rectangle that will carry the text volunteers, and the name of this text is Bolank. So all of this is now dependent on how imaginative and how creative you want to be. Do you understand? So definitely I knew for a conference like this that is youthful and vibrant, I'll definitely be needing so much of some very, very decorative text. Do you understand? So that's why text like this would actually come out. Do you understand? So I would not use text like this or fonts like this for other projects. Say, take for instance, I'm designing for a bank. All right, I would not use this kind of font because it is not formal. All right, it's a very, very informal fonts and decorative fonts. Do you understand? And they convey the message perfectly to the target demographic. All right, target demography. Do you understand? So that's just what it is. In selection of fonts or selection of elements, you have to be particular about the demographic you're trying to reach. If not, you'll be misfiring on so many occasions. Very, very important. All right, so I started adding all of this. Want to be part of an amazing team. All right, so all these are basically what you call CTAs, call to actions. They are part of your the informations that you would need to convey. So they have to, in every way, try as much as possible to be sans serif fonts. All right, there are different types of fonts: sans serif fonts, your serif fonts, your script fonts, your decorative fonts, different types of fonts, handwritten fonts, and the rest. So you have to go and read up on those ones. All right, so they're adding other shapes that would carry other informations and all of that. All right, and stylizing them the way they should be to convey the message I need to convey. So this font is Aspan. That's the name of the font. So I tell people there is no limit to the number of fonts you can use in a design. If you check this design, at least we've used at least, say, nothing less than, say, like 4 fonts, because this Young and Mighty is actually a font too. I made into this stuff. So this international things, I use this in another font, that's 2. This is another font 3. This is another font 4. All right, this is font 4. Yeah, then this is another font 5. Do you understand? All these other fonts are intro too, I think. Let me be sure. Yeah, this is intro. This is also intro. All right, so all these other fonts too here are intro. So basically we have seen 4 fonts now go down. All right, so I tell people there's no limit to the number of fonts you have to use on a project, but make sure it is at the minimal and it is right for conveying that particular information. If not, you'll be doing so many wrong things. Right, so I don't think I needed this again. This was okay. I downloaded this. I needed what do you call it, I needed an arrow. Do you understand? I needed an arrow to depict, so I downloaded these arrows of PNG wing. All right, if you see it here, you see it on the layer here, PNG wing. So I don't think I used this. I think I used, yeah, so I cut out this particular one from all of this. Right, so yeah, that's that about that. Then this rectangle, and then under rectangle again. All right, so register here points me directly to this. So you notice that I did my own in the reverse. All right, on the normal you see the register here first, then before you now see the link, but I put my register here under, then link. So most times you just basically have to think outside the box. Do you understand? For most of these distance, that way your design actually stands out. All right, so thinking outside the box is good stuff. So the next thing is call for volunteers and all of that. So you notice that there's no my layers arrangement is not, in sequence to how I started my design and all of that. It's just the placement. Do you understand? That directs the layer arrangement. All right, so the next thing I have is another shape. I done that shape here because I needed to. I didn't these thunderbolts were not in here, so I felt okay I could add some things that would actually depict like sound is coming out from this megaphone. All right, so I added a couple of that. Then this is actually an abstract what do you call it, overlay I like adding. So I used actually on this project, so you can actually develop your own. I downloaded this off Shutterstock, right, as a pattern, so you can actually develop your own unique pattern that you can be using for your project. Do you understand? As a signature or something. Do you understand? So I just put this here based on the whole of this down place was actually looking empty and I didn't want it empty, so I just felt okay, maybe I could add something. Right, so I added that there. Change the color. I think the blend mode is still the same. All right, then another shape again here. All right, another shape here, down here, another shape down here, and another shape. Okay, sorry, this is actually a halftone overlay. All right, so there are different ways to make halftones. All right, there's a way to actually do it manually on Photoshop here, but it's actually a longer process. So instead what I do is I just go to PNG wing and I just type in halftone. So if you look at this halftone, you see what it does. All these dots you have on the design, right, is called halftone. So halftone is related with old pictures. Do you understand? When you look at very old pictures that have been almost damaged, you see all this dot stuff on it, right? They are called halftones. All right, they are used to depict like something old, but it's a very, very nice effect to add on your designs, right? It gives it a very, very nice texture. Right, it's a very, very good texture to add. So I added that there. So and there you have it. Just all of it's as simple as this. Do you understand? It's just arrangement, and I tell people make sure you're intentional about your placement, your hierarchy, your alignment. If you check well, the alignment of this thing is always very, very key for me. If you look well, you notice that these bottom parts, they all align together. All right, it aligns, this left side and the right side align together. All right, if you check the right and the left side, the spacing from this particular point to this particular point is the same thing with the spacing from here to here. You understand? Very, very important to give my design a form of centralization. If we check the same thing to distance from this youth missions global thingy to this, to the margin here, and from this to this margin here is equal. Do you understand? So that's the way design should be. Your design should be arranged and aligned in such a way that there's a form of neatness to it. Do you understand? It's not like it's shabby and everywhere. One thing about good designs is that good designs will actually take you on a journey and help you read and understand better. And if you must read and understand better, it means that that thing is perfectly aligned. Do you understand? If at this point now, for some of us who are not Muslims, if I come and bring a publication for you to read, and the publication is starting from, and the writing is starting from right to left, you'll not find it easy to read because you're already accustomed to the alignment of left to right. Do you understand? So alignment is key in whatever it is you're doing. Very, very key in whatever it is you're doing. All right. So there are some places where you get to lose it, like in the whole of this middle point. All right, there was a very, very big compromise in alignment, but you can get away with it because of the type and the style of design you're doing. But you have to make up with other different elements, right, to keep it at the center. Do you understand? Very, very important. This is the center of my design, which is 50%. All right, and you notice that most of all the, okay, this is slightly off the center, but that is not really as bad as it should be. Do you understand? So very, very important. Alignment is always important, always important, always important. All right, so if you don't know how to get in the rulers, there's a simple way of getting in these rulers. All right, go to view, then you come in and you see rulers, you click on it. So I just removed mine, so let me put it back. Rulers, click on it. So when you get your rulers, you see different. When you right click on the rulers itself, you see different calibrations. So I suggest you always use percent, because it calibrates your workspace from 0 to 100% for both the width and the height. All right, so that's that about this. So thank you for your time, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.